So luckily these machines have slots, so we can pop in a kingpin. Has to be a kingpin on this one. So this will enable us to put more weight on. The gym owner obviously doesn't like us doing that because of the grades of the cables, but we need to get a heavier machine. Welcome back to the YouTube. Just a little update on prep. Weight is now 88.75. It's finally started playing ball. We've had a few calorie drops. We've had cardio added, and it seems to be shifting now, which is good. Sleep last night was phenomenal. 8 hours 30. So perfect topic for today, as well as leg day, is sleep, the importance of sleep, recovery, testosterone levels, growth hormone levels, IGF-1 levels, all that sort of good stuff that happens when you're asleep. So we'll chat about that, and I'll show you how I destroy my legs today. Right, so you'll see I have a new pre-workout just come out, cola flavored by Perform, and it's got a good panel, and it's got quite a few electrolytes in there as well. So I've changed the way that I actually, towards the end of prep, as energy starts to dip and motivation sort of when you're in the gym kind of drops off, I like to now have pre-workout on my first exercise, get it down as quickly as possible, and then by the time I get to like the leg press and the bigger movements, that pre-workout is well in my system. Whereas if I took this at home 30 minutes before I got here, then I do steps for 30 minutes, we're talking an hour, and it's kind of, by that point it's been wasted. So I try and have it at the most optimal time, which will be 30 minutes before sort of my top sets. I don't really need it for adductors. I don't really need it for hamstring curls or anything like that. It's when I start to hit those compound moves. So that's been added. I'm going to do a couple of warm-up sets. Got the tunes on today as well. It's a great tune. Saturday night, and I like the way you're moving. Divock Origi. Right, we'll full stack it for a warm-up set, and then when Ben's stretched off his old man back over there, the crippled brothers. So we're going to go for stack plus 52.5, which is a PB. We normally do 50, and I got 14 last week. So see if I can. The range is 10 to 12, so let's go for it. I'm going to show you how to correctly mount the adductor. So a lot of women and a lot of men do this wrong. You want to just step over like this, slide into said machine, and then close your legs. It's that simple. Right, 9. So seated ham. On this, my main focus is to stay as locked in as possible. So that has to come down as far as possible. I push myself away. A lot of people you'll see like sat loose with their heads. You want to drive all of the weight with just purely the hamstrings, no swinging or no momentum. So I had a note from last week's workout saying that I was a little bit too heavy and form was a little bit off. So I've dropped the weight by 5 kilo, kind of matched the reps pretty much, but felt that a lot more. So it's not always about how much weight, it's how you move it. The contraction between the muscle and the weight is more important than the weight it's actually moving. Fucking hell, that's sore. Right, leg extensions. What I like to do in here, as you can see, is band myself in. It keeps my ass planted. And then you'll see I've got a tan pad or a sort of pad that you'll use on a squat. Put that on my knees or my shins. Lock in, toes pointing up, and obviously just extend the legs. But this really shows the quad now, so hopefully they're a bit leaner than a few weeks ago. And we'll find out because I'm going to stack the fucker. Ready, Ben? Let's go. Big quads. 11 weeks out. Give us a bicep. Said do a double bicep. No, face that way under the light. Your back's absolutely shredded now. Yeah, go right under the light. Over that. Walk, keep going left. Do it again. Yeah. Right, drive the elbows forward like that. Yeah, good. Couple more in there. I want to see them shaking. Easy. Come on, all the way up. Shaking, good. Shake and bake. Come on. Come on, yes, it's the one. Yep. Shake and bake. Ricky Bobby. So the pre-workout is most definitely circulating now. I've got the tingles from the beta-alanine. Caffeine's definitely in my system, and it's just in time for the big compound lift of the leg press. Now, a couple of years ago, I actually tore my, I don't know what it was, the TFL, and the IT band's really tight now, and getting that full range of motion on this is really difficult. So you'll see that my foot placement is really, really low down to enable me to get a little bit deeper. It's more quad focused, which is exactly what I'm trying to hit on this. If you want to hit glutes, bring your feet a little bit higher, but for me, you'll see my foot placements right down the bottom of the pad. I kind of bring my ass off the bottom pad a little bit, bring it up, and it just enables me to get a deeper range. So this is 300 kilo. I'm no Lauren Quirk, but I'm getting there, and I'm going to go for about 10 to 12 reps on this. So again, a PB. My legs are a bit wobbly today, so preppy legs are starting to come in. So we'll see what we can get. And yeah, I'm a bit scared, but if you're not scared of your top lift, then you're not lifting enough. That was failure. Oh. So as I mentioned at the start, I was going to talk about sleep and the importance of sleep and recovery and getting stronger and getting PBs, but more so when you're in a diet phase. So I read a study and they had two groups of people. One had 5-6 hours sleep and the other had 8 to 9 hours sleep. Both of them had the same calories, the same output, the same training, very similar body types and all that sort of stuff. And there was a 55% difference in the amount of muscle loss during the 12-week diet phase. So it shows you the importance of that extra 3 hours. So a lot of people brag and they're all, I can survive, I only had 3 hours sleep. It's not cool, it's not big, it's not clever. I go to bed at 7 o'clock, I wake up at 3:30. I'm easily covering 6, 7, maybe 8 hours. Last night, 8.5 hours with it being a weekend. And that's why I like training legs on a Saturday, because I can have a little bit more of a lie-in and I need that extra energy, I need that extra focus, and I need the recovery as well on a Sunday. So again, a Sunday, because I don't have work as early, I find that I can have another lie-in. I could probably get 10 hours tomorrow, tonight. And the growing of muscle tissue isn't done in the gym. What I'm doing now doesn't grow the muscle, it breaks it down, it tears the muscle fibers apart. And then when you sleep, your body will release testosterone. It's going to release a lot of hormones, testosterone, IGF-1, which is pretty much the main hormone for muscle growth, and it's going to release growth hormone as well. So it all goes to the recovery of the muscle. So if you're not sleeping enough, it's going to hold you back. And trust me, I used to work 4 jobs. I used to do bodybuilding at the same time, and they weren't conducive. I'd come in and train hard. I'd be fatigued. I'd be fatigued and tired the next day. And and then I could just never progress my lifts as well as I am now. And I put it primarily down to sleep. Obviously a lot more knowledge around training and recovery and nutrition and all that sort of stuff. But one of the biggest factors I've found for my performance, my physique development, is sleep. And again, cortisol destroys muscle. So we want to keep those levels low. The less you sleep, the higher that's going to be. So get an early night's sleep, and I'll talk to you about how I make sure my sleep is the most optimized it can be later on. Ben's doing a lot less load than he normally does. He's got a bit of a niggle in his lower back because he's an old man. So rather than not coming to the gym and just saying, I'm injured, he's reduced the load by about 100 kilo. And we're just focusing on really slow, like each one of those reps then was like 4 or 5 seconds eccentric and was probably around 15 to 20 reps. So his legs are shaking. He'll be sore tomorrow. He's worked the muscle, he's ticked the boxes, and then hopefully next week his back's a little bit better and he can bring that load up. But just because you've got a little bit of a niggle, it's not an excuse not to train. Obviously, if it's affecting like a back squat, for example, we wouldn't be doing one of them, but this one's a safe, stable movement. He's planted in the seat and he can still do the load. So putting some sort of stimulus through that muscle is better than doing nothing and sitting at home. So as I was saying about sleep hygiene, sleep routine, stuff like that, how do I get my sleep optimal? So for me, it's having the same bedtime and the same wake up time. As silly as it sounds, your body likes routine. It's like when you go on holiday, you get used to the time zone, you come back, you're all thrown out of sync. So for me, every night I'm asleep by 8 o'clock, and typically I'll wake up around 3:15. My alarm goes off at 3:20, kind of wake up just nicely just before it. And my body's used to that and knows when it's going to get sleep, it knows how long it's going to get sleep. It enables my body as well to be in almost like a routine where I'm going to get into a nice deep sleep. I'm not spending most of the time as like light or awake. I have like 2 to maybe 2+ hours of deep sleep, quite a bit of time in REM as well, which is, you know, they're the places you need to be to get that proper recovery. And in terms of like hygiene around sleep, I don't mean how clean your bedding is, but that does help. I mean, making sure your windows are blacked out, especially in the summer. So we've got obviously blinds and we've got blackout curtains. We have a fan in there as well, which I have on every single day of the year. It could be -5 outside, snowing, and I'll still have the fan on because the sound of the fan, for one, and the cool air that blows around the room helps me sleep nice and deep, and I can't really sleep without it. It's almost like if I go on holiday or go away for the weekend, I need to have a fan in the room. So again, that's what works for me. In terms of supplementation, I use a product called Trained by JP Dream Sleep. It contains zinc, magnesium, B6, ashwagandha. It's got loads of other stuff in there as well, which is obviously all beneficial to sleep. And I also take a melatonin, 10 milligrams every night, which is what your body secretes naturally when it's time to sleep and when you're in a sleep. But I take that exogenously as well. And that's just, again, helps me stay in a nice deep sleep and helps me get to sleep and stay asleep. So I might wake up once in the night, maybe twice, go to the toilet, but as soon as I hit the bed afterwards, that's me done. Lights out, game over. So abductor. I'm gonna use these yoga blocks, pop them either side of my calf, and it just enables me to, because some of these machines, they're not designed for people with thinner legs, I want to say, and it's just there's a lot of a gap in like the tension. So if I put these in, there's tension on right now, whereas if I had them on there's no tension on that part of the movement. So just a little tip, slightly lean forward. You can do all this if you want to be a TikToker, but if you want to hit your glutes, slightly lean forward and drive these as far as you can apart, squeeze at the top, hold, and then control on the way down. So on this one, lower back, can't handle it, so no point in trying to lift the world. So I just go nice and slow, feel a contraction, squeeze and stop a baby a rep or two away from failure, because 7 weeks out, what's the point in hurting myself and not being able to train? So I absolutely hate this exercise, but I need to keep that bum, don't I? Or my pants will fall down. So that's leg day pretty much wrapped up. Gonna finish on calves. We don't really have a great calf machine in here, so we do it on the seated leg press. And you can see here it's got a little gap at the bottom, so you can actually bring your heels all the way through. Get a real good stretch on those calves. But the thing with calf training, it has to be heavy and it has to be nice and slow and controlled and pausing at each end of the movement. You don't want to just be bouncing it. I've seen people stick 80 kilos on the seated calf press and just bounce their toes. You know, it's not going to really grow the muscle. You want to really lengthen and shorten the muscle with a lot of load on it. So like on here, Ben's just on 95 kilo, nice slow reps, and you'll see the calves there are pretty full of blood right now, and that's one set. So we've got 2 more sets to do, and then I won't be able to stand properly. Then we're going to wrap up, go upstairs, do a couple of rounds of posing, check in, and then probably have another nice calorie drop for today. So that's leg day all wrapped up. A little bit tighter today. Lightest weight of prep. Starting to feel a little bit flatter, but chest is still holding fullness, which is good. legs obviously full of blood at the moment, but did injure my pec last week. Had a little pull on it, wasn't really sure what it was, but again, that kind of leads me into recovery, leads me into making sure that you're helping your body recover from sleep. But also I get a massage at least twice a month, a full-on sports massage from Kevin. So if anyone wants his details, drop me a message. But he does scraping, gives me like an hour of a beating. So it's loosened off the chest a little bit this week, which is nice, and hopefully I've got a couple of days now before my next push session, so hopefully I'll be 100% again. If not, I'll just kind of err on the side of caution and bring those weights down, bring the reps up, and just kind of nurse it for a couple of days. Again, at this point, there's no point in chasing PBs, there's no point in chasing the numbers in the logbook, because if you get injured, everything goes out the window, and I've done that 2 weeks out from my show before, injured myself, and then wasn't able to train legs. My lower back went, so legs, lower back, most of my pull sessions, some of my push movements was all kind of taken out. It was very, very annoying, but kind of ruined the look as well. So this year, I'm not going to make that mistake. I'm just going to, every time there's an injury sort of brewing, I'm going to make sure I take care of it and get a good night's sleep. So that's a wrap for this week. As always, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, share this, and help me grow this channel so I can keep bringing you the content that I'm bringing at the moment. So peace out.